Sammy, what really stood out to me, man, from watching your highlight video was just your athleticism. Just the thing that came to mind was just an athlete that can sling it. And being a former quarterback, I didn't have that type of athleticism like that. And just back when I played, that wasn't kind of the drill. But just you being able to extend plays with your feet, slinging it down when you need to on the sideline, those are the things that really pop out to me, man. And that's just one thing that really stood out to me. Okay. Now, my suggestions for your highlight video are the following. Okay. The first thing is to add an information slide at the very beginning. And you've kind of got one, but you can take that one off. And the best way to go about adding a different one is if you go onto Canva, okay? And this is free. You'll go on there and you'll go to one of their slides, and on that you'll put the information of your name, school, graduation year, position, height and weight, X account, email, and phone number. Okay. Put all the information on the left, put a picture of you on the right, download that, and then upload that to the very first thing on your video. Okay. Now, we want to do this so that way the tangibles of your height and weight are listed for the coach to find, but then also how they can follow you on X, and if they need to send you anything via email, and how they can get in contact with you with your phone number. Okay. But the reason we kind of want to do that though is the college coach's time is very short and valuable, right? And if they have to spend time trying to find your information like that, personally I've had to do this. You have to pass on the kid because their time's so short and valuable. They don't have to kind of go down a rabbit hole trying to find all this stuff when they're watching 60 to 100 kids in a day. Okay, that's why you want to try to make it as easily as accessible for them to not have any hindrance to you. Okay. Next, make sure you add spot shadows to your plays. Yes, we know you're the quarterback, but go ahead and spot shadow yourself. And also, with that, start the play before it's snapped. Okay. Don't be halfway rolling out and then start the clip. Right. Start it before it's the ball snapped. Let him finish. If you got a guy getting ready to score, go ahead and let him finish the clip. Okay. It's just going to add on a couple more seconds. Not going to hurt anything. So just make sure you add that stuff on there. Okay. Next, remove the background sound. Okay. And the reason we want to do that is just so we want to make sure that doesn't distract the college recruiter from evaluating the film. All right. Like I said, they're watching 60 to 100 kids in a day. They're sitting in a dark room, lamp on, listening to music, and they get in a zone. Kind of like you. You start slinging it, and you catch on fire. You get in a zone, and you feel like you can't miss type of deal. That's the same thing with it. They get in the zone, and you don't want to do anything that's going to break that up because you want to be in that zone with it, okay, when they're watching your film. So make sure to remove that background sound. Now, going to your sequence of plays. Okay, this is kind of the order and the flow of how everything goes within your film. All right, and we kind of have this broken down into sections. Okay, first section is your long TDs, then your short TDs, so anything basically 25 and in. All right, and your explosives, which is anything 15 to 20 plus yards down the field. All right, and then some of your movements. Sometimes this is a scramble deal you have to do, or there's like a roll, extend the play, rolling out, maybe not a 15-yard gain, but still something in that side to showing you doing some movement. And then your remaining offensive highlights. Okay. And I've got an example of that one that I would put on there, but that's more not necessarily the plays that aren't explosions, but still good plays that showcases what you can do. Okay. Now, within each of these sections, okay, you want to do your pass and then your run clips. Okay, because I know you've got some on there with those, like take your short TDs, like you had a short run on one for a short touchdown, but then you also have pass. But the pass first and then the run. Okay, they want to see our arm stuff first. All right. Now, within these sections also, I've got timestamp for the plays I believe that you should put on the very first one. Okay. The reason we want to do this is because we want to put they like seeing six. Okay, they want to see six for touchdowns and stuff like that first. That's why we put all our touchdowns first. All right, but within a minute, if they don't see something in our film, they're going to pass because they're watching that many kids in a day. Okay, so we want to put our best clips first and then kind of taper from there. So within each section, put your best long TDs, and then when you go to your short TDs, put your best ones starting with the 132, all your short ones, okay, that are passes, and then boom, then add in that one at the 15-second mark for your run. All right, and then go to your explosives, so 109 mark. Okay, and just kind of goes follow suit from there. Just taper within each section. Okay. So to go over these clips, all right, they'll start off just like how you've got started off here at the 5-second mark. Okay, boom, rolling out, being able to set the feet, pressure in the face, deliver a great ball down the field. Okay, that's fantastic. Show off the arm strength a little bit, show off the movement, and roll into your left knee right-handed quarterback is a very difficult throw. I understand that one. Okay, next, going to the 132 mark. Okay, just to kind of where I would start for your short TD, and this is why we kind of want to change this stuff up a little bit. Okay, because just like we're saying, if after a minute they didn't see this, they don't know what they're missing. Okay, but boom, great ball inside the pylon. Okay, corner, and I mean that's kind of the rule basically, right? If you're basically on the 20, okay, you aim for that front pylon. All right, that's a great job there. Okay, great ball, great timing, everything. Okay, going to the 109 mark now. All right, to show off the explosive that we're talking about. Okay, like again, start this a little bit sooner so they can see your footwork. All right, even though you're rolling out and extended, this is still an explosive. We want to put this up first. Okay, this is the play that I recognize. Boom, rolling out, delivering it on a rope to the sideline. Okay, that's a great play right there. All right, next, going to your movements. Okay, 36-second mark here. All right, we got all this extra scrambling we got going on. All right, to extend the play. Okay, like I said, we're not 15 yards down the field. All right, from where the line of scrimmage is, but still a great ball to be able to avoid and deliver on the sideline. Okay, it's a fantastic job there. Now, going to the 158 mark. All right, we'll need to back up here. Okay, the 158 mark. All right, to show what kind of that remaining offensive highlight, what we're really looking for. Okay, and like I said, it's not necessarily explosive, but just to showcase what we can do. So boom, 1, 2, 3, ball right on the dick. You're processing, watching you going through your reads. Boom, stick It's not there. Our end's not there. Linebacker safety sucks. And okay, that means behind. We got the safety coming down. Got to get it there before he breaks, and we deliver the perfect ball where it needs to be. Okay, just kind of going through those reads. That's what we're kind of looking for in that stuff. 10-yard digs, 10-yard outs, comebacks, that type of stuff on time. All right. Now, add that information slide. Add the spot shadows. Kind of change up the timing on our film. Okay. Remove the background sound, and then change up the sequence of plays that we talked about. And overall, this will provide a more dynamic highlight video for college coaches. Now, after going over the game film feedback, let's take a look at what divisions you should target. Okay, I'm basing this off the most recent highlight video, which is exactly what college coaches are going to do, and where the athlete can receive a scholarship right now. I want you to understand this is a current evaluation of the film we just went off of, not a projected evaluation. Okay, this is based on a few criteria. The first thing is your graduation year. We got some things getting ready to roll. Okay, summer's coming up. We need to get in contact with these coaches. We need to get into camps because our time's coming up. But we know now how we can go attack this thing going into our senior year. Okay, but then after that, they're going to look at your size, mobility, accuracy, and arm strength as a quarterback. And with that being said, the levels you should look at today for a scholarship are NAIA and Division II. Now, you should start getting interest and offers from these college coaches at these levels. And if not, you need to start the communication process with them through emailing them and calling them. Okay, they're getting ready to hit the road if they're not already on the road. They should already be on the road by this point, and we need to make sure we're contacting them to know that, so we know that they're coming to our school, okay, and talking to our coach about us. All right, that's what we want to do. All right, you need to start getting your name out there through social media. Follow these coaches on X. Make sure you're DMing these coaches your film. Okay, and make sure you're marketing and branding yourself in the correct way. Quarterback, you're the leader. Do things on and off the field in the right way. People are going to look at that. Okay, but with DMing these coaches your film, you want to do that too because we want to know whether or not these coaches like us. Okay, and they like our film. All right, because that's really going to have a big impact on where we should be going and looking at going for camps this summer. Okay, you send one to a coach and he never gets back with you, and then you go there and he never gives you the time of day. You could have put your money towards somewhere else, towards a different camp where a coach really is interested in you and wants to give you an offer. All right, and that's just coming from both sides of the experience because sometimes when you go to these mega camps, all right, there's 1,000 kids there and you kind of get lost in the shuffle. And even just because there is so many kids, and even as a college recruiter, it's kind of difficult when there is that many kids to really get a true evaluations on so many of them. All right, but when you sometimes attend these other camps that have it's a more one-on-one setting or smaller group setting, okay, you're able to introduce yourself to that coach a whole lot easier and kind of develop that relationship. They remember seeing you run your 40. They remember you throwing one-on-ones. Remember you doing drills and stuff like that a lot easier, okay? And that's going to carry into the fall for you, all right? Because then when you send them that midseason highlight, okay, they're going to have that relationship and know who they're watching. Seeing stuff from the camp, turning it into the fall, building that relationship, all right? But here's the deal. How can we also attack these levels and get better? My suggestion to improve your game that translates to college football and possibly a higher division are the following. First thing is accuracy. Okay, working on catch and throw drills, simulate. That's going to help simulate throwing bubbles, fast screens, quick game. Okay, drop drills, starting from the ground up. Because if your feet are right, everything else has got a good chance. Okay, mechanic drills. Right, mechanics drills. Excuse me. The saying on that: aim small, miss small. Okay, college football, those windows get smaller as the defenders get faster. Those ones down the sideline, that window's going to get close a lot faster. All right, film study. Learn to leave the receivers open at all three levels by knowing where those windows are going to be at, based on the coverage you're getting, the concept you're running. Okay, and knowing how, okay, we get this, boom, I want to hit this with my read and go from there. Okay, arm strength. That's going to come through your core and your leg strength. That's going to help create more throwing velocity. All right, and like I just mentioned, you got to have more zip on the ball. Okay, so you got to have more velocity to account for those faster players. Okay, great thing to do with this is exercises that deal with explosion for that power and squats. Okay, some single leg stuff, quick twitch stuff. That's all going to help start because we want to start from the ground up. Footwork drills. Work on shuffle and weave between over backs, figure eight with cones, gap pressure simulation. Okay, make sure when you're doing these though you've got a good base. Okay, and a football in hand. It's going to help with mobility and pocket awareness more. Okay, boom, stepping up, not having to back trace so far. Okay, that's going to help translate to the college level because you're going to show, and what coaches want to see is quarterbacks who are mobile in today's game. When something happens, they can extend the play if something breaks down. All right, ball security, keeping that thing high and tight. All right, that's huge. All right, you can practice this when you're doing your footwork drills or sprints because if you can't protect the football, your chance playing is going to go down. And then lastly is flexibility. Okay, pre and post training stretching. If you guys don't do it as a team, you need to be doing it on your own. That's part of that individual work. Okay, this is going to help injury prevention. And here's the deal too: your best ability is your availability. Because if you're dinged up and nicked up, that's going to hurt your chances of video. Then that's going to hurt your chance of an offer. You're dinged up and nicked at college, that hurts you on the depth chart. Okay, so you've got to make sure you're taking care of your body. You've got to make sure you're taking care of your arm. But these improvements are what a quarterback college coach will look at. So double down, do all these things, hit it hard. If it translates to your video, this can help you level up your evaluation and possibly have an opportunity at the lower D1 FCS level. But Sammy, at the end of the day, everything's really going to come down to your individual work, your outreach, as well as your marketing on social media, and your relationship building with college coaches, which is getting ready to be very important for you. Which is why the next step is your athlete interview. You're going to get an interview with the coach and get coached on your communication and your interviewing skills, which is critical for the conversations you're about to start having with college coaches. So make sure you watch the video beforehand and be ready to go. If you have any questions, we'll be able to answer them at the end of the interview. Thank you.